Hey everyone, today I wanted to talk to you all about a very, very important topic that I'm finding to be quite prevalent within the spiritual community, and that is imposter syndrome. Imposter syndrome is a psychological pattern where people doubt their accomplishments and have persistent fears of being exposed as a fraud, even though there's evidence that they are competent and they have, significant achievements, right? In the spiritual community, there's often a strong emphasis on spiritual growth, enlightenment, and self-realization. And imposter syndrome can be uh, particularly daunting and prevalent. And this is because we sometimes, disqualify ourselves, even though we are qualified, right? Um, I know that I myself have dealt with imposter syndrome, throughout my entire life, actually. Whereas I always have people telling me, oh, you're good at this and you're good at that. And I would be like, no, I always felt like a fraud. And I don't know why that was. I just knew that it was there. I always had this imposing feeling of fraud. I had many years of experience in graphic design. Felt like a fraud. I finished school for it. Still felt like a fraud. Went to school for software engineering. Definitely felt like a fraud. You know what I mean? And as even, it doesn't matter how many times I was qualified in that I got, training. And even if I got training in the thing, I still felt as if it wasn't enough. It wasn't good enough. In one thing that is also hand in hand with imposter syndrome is perfectionism. And I know for sure I have dealt with that as well too. It's that it needs to be perfect. We have these high standards that we set for ourselves, and it's impossible because no one's perfect. And we are perfectly imperfect in that way. You know what I mean? I know for myself, like when you think of, and this is probably going to sound random, but for me, it makes sense. And that when you think of like stories or movies, right? A lot of people want the happily ever after, but that's not how life works, right? It's not always going to be, and they lived happy ever after. Sometimes there's tragedy at the end. And I particularly like the movies that are more realistic in that kind of way. And it's perfectly imperfect, It wasn't, and they all lived happily ever after, but the story felt complete in the way that it was given. And even though it's not picture perfect, it's still perfect in the way that it was. And I think that we need to really understand there is no perfect. There is no, set way that things need to be. Many spiritual seekers set high standards for themselves based on idealized concepts of spiritual attainment, right? We keep saying spiritual journey as if there's an end to it. There's a goal or destination, but there isn't. It's just a matter of being on a path or a lifestyle of development, of growth, and knowing that's going to continuously be. The person that you are today is not going to be the person you are next year or the year after that, in 10 years from that, because the goal is to grow. There is no, I'm going to reach this final stage of anything. Right? There's no perfect version of you that you have to get to. You are perfect even now. And so when I think about those who are called, and I use the word called because I can't think of a different word, but those who are called to help, to be practitioners, to be Reiki, masters or meditation guides or, coaches or whatever it is, a lot of the time there is a sad undertone of imposter syndrome within that person, and they don't take the steps to do what they're called to do. They keep disqualifying themselves, even though life qualifies you, your experience qualifies you. The person who can understand you because they've gone through the thing that you've gone through, is perfectly qualified. So if you're saying, hey, I want to coach women because as a woman I have gone through many things that I feel like they can relate to, do that. Don't let imposter syndrome, which is a lie, right, that we tell ourselves, it's a lie because we know we're not our thoughts, right? We are not the thoughts. The thoughts that come that says you don't know enough. You need this certification. This certificate, I can't say the word. Sometimes I get tongue tied. I apologize, but it is what it is. That's just me. But I need this cert. I need this class. I need the, and no, you've gone through enough. Your experience is more than enough to qualify you to do the thing that you are called to do. Do not let imposter syndrome tell you any different. Do not let your mind tell you any different, right? We get into the space of looking at other people and doing comparisons. There is no need for that. My experience in my life cannot be compared to somebody else. It just can't. Their experience and their life got them where they are. Mine will get me where I need to be, where I'm supposed to be. We cannot focus on somebody else's, how they are looked, that they look like they're qualified. So because I don't look exactly the same way that they look, I can't be qualified. That's a lie. It's a lie that we tell ourselves out of fear that we're not going to be good enough, that we're not perfect in the way that we're doing things. And we need to be better about that. That inner critic, that voice of self-doubt, self-criticism, it can be very active in spiritual seekers. It magnifies the flaws and the shortcomings, right? Reinforcing the belief of being an imposter, but you are not an imposter. You are not an imposter. You are not an imposter. You are qualified. Your experience qualifies you. Your experience qualifies you. Just because you have that desire to help and to be a benefit to those within this spiritual community qualifies you. That enough. That alone, I should say. Why? Because we also know that, I always say this and I'm always going to repeat it, the universe is always working in your favor. The universe is conspiring in your favor. So if you have the desire to help it, the universe will do everything in its power, which is everything. It can do anything, right? To help and assist and give you the resources that you need. You just have to get that thought out of your head. Tell it it's a lie. Tell it it's a lie. As a Christian, we say the devil is a lie. It's a lie. That's what that is. It's a lie. You are more than qualified. You are more than qualified, right? Ironically, though, the pursuit of spiritual growth can sometimes feed into egoic tendencies, right? Making individuals adopt identities or roles that don't authentically align with their true self. So we see people who put on the dressing of the thing that they're wanting to be to make them seem more than, because they feel like they themselves in their authentic form is not enough. We can't do that. We can't do that. You authentically, you is more than enough. This is I always say this as well too, the greatest and the only issue that humanity has is unworthiness. Feeling unworthy, not good enough. Everything, every issue, every problem that anyone is going through, the root of it all is unworthiness and not enough. And when we understand that without doing anything, without adding on anything, we are enough. We are worthy. We are good enough. We are qualified. We don't have to put on the airs of anything else. You might like crystals and stuff like that. Sure, fine, no problem. But you don't have to be the one that's wearing the 50 million crystals. As a matter of fact, when people do that, I look at them sideways. Why do you need all of that? Sometimes you'll see me with crystals and beads and stuff like that, but I'm not wearing that all the time. That's not me. That's just not something that I do. Why? Because just me being me should be enough. That's more than enough. I don't need to do all of that. And I hope that you guys get to a place where you realize you don't need to do any of that either. Anything that we use as far as tools are just that, they're tools. You are the thing. You are the magic. You are the thing. That's all you need. So when you're going through those situations where you're feeling like you're not enough, understand that you are more than enough. Your experience qualifies you. Your experience qualifies you. Those of you, I'll give you an example, or just a few examples. Those of you who have grown up in a dysfunctional home, more than qualified to coach and help those who are going through that thing. You have experience. Your experience. That's the whole purpose of us being here, right? Spirit is experiencing life through us. Our experience qualifies us. If you've had the experience, you're qualified. You have a particular take on it that no one else is going to have, because everybody's life is different. Everybody's road is different. So we have to get to this point of radical self-acceptance, embracing and understanding the imperfection. That imperfection is inherent in all human experiences, including the spiritual journey. I hate using that term, but that's what we use, because journey to me indicates that there's an end to it. You know what I mean? But yeah, imperfection is a part of it. Accept yourself fully, including the flaws and limitations, as part of the path towards growth and transformation, right? Authenticity over perfectionism. Be authentically you. You don't have to put on airs. There's no reason to be, striving for perfection. Embody authenticity. Recognize that genuine spiritual growth comes from embracing your unique journey with all the ups and downs, rather than trying to conform to external ideals, right? Seek support from within the spiritual community by sharing your struggles and vulnerabilities. If you're struggling with this imposter syndrome, seek support. Speak to others. I'm sure that there are people who are qualified through their experience to help you through and guide you through. Be mindful. Engage in mindfulness practices such as meditation, breathwork, or self-reflection to cultivate awareness of the thought patterns and the beliefs underlining imposter syndrome. Observe the patterns without judgment. This is how you begin to loosen the grip of this thing, this lie that we keep telling ourselves, that our minds keep saying. Shift your perspective on failure from a sign of inadequacy to an opportunity for learning and growth. Understand that setbacks and challenges are integral parts of the spiritual journey, offering valuable lessons and insights along the way. If you embrace these principles and practices, you'll be able to overcome imposter syndrome and reclaim the sense of authenticity, of worthiness, of belonging. Because you're worthy just the way you are. Just the way you are. Be mindful of those high standards that you set for yourself. Be mindful of the high standards that you set for yourself. And this is not just me talking to you as if, I'm from a high place. I'm talking to myself too, right? My experience has qualified me to speak on this, because this is something that I am actively working on and thinking about and being mindful of and watching and seeing which ways that this thing comes up. Not just the imposter syndrome, but mostly the perfectionism, which goes hand in hand. It goes hand in hand. It goes hand in hand. Be mindful. Be mindful. Be mindful. Be mindful. You are more than enough, just the way you are, without any add-ons. Without any add-ons, and you are qualified. Your experience qualifies you. Your experience qualifies you. So when those thoughts, those doubts, those criticisms come up, understand that it's your mind lying to you. It is not true. It is lies. And the truth is that you are more than enough. And you are more than worthy. And you are qualified just the way you are. I hope that this message reaches those who are struggling with this. I know that this is not a one and done situation. This is active. You have to actively be doing these steps, actively being mindful, actively speaking truth into yourself. Right? We have to. I always, when I talk about manifesting the things that you want, right? I say you have to put motion towards the thing. Motion. How much motion are you putting towards the thing? How much work are you putting towards the thing? Right? And so actively always speaking life into yourself is the way to defeat the lies, is the way to overpower that lie. Your mind records things, right? So if you spend 20, 30 years hearing this lie and not challenging it, it's going to take a lot of the opposite to overpower it, right? You can't just say it to yourself one time and be like, okay, that's done. That's not how that works. Your brain has been programmed to accept this thought. You need to actively be giving it the opposite, giving it the truth instead of the lie. And I hope that, with time and with your dedication to changing this lie, to understanding that you are more than enough, and radically accepting yourself as the truth. You are more than enough. You're good enough. And you are more than qualified. More than qualified. I hope you all are doing well today and that you will have an amazing, amazing week. If you haven't subscribed yet, I ask that you subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you never miss out on any of my episodes. Also, I just wanted to, give a quick reminder. I'm going to be saying this in the video, so you guys remember Divine Feminine. We have a womb healing Reiki session circle in August 3rd at 3 p.m. It is absolutely free. This is going to be a very amazing healing session, and I would hate for you guys to miss it. Please register as early as you can. There's limited seating, so that's why I'm going to be pushing this. If you want to be there, you definitely have to register. The link will be in my bio. You can go to my link tree and register through there. It's absolutely free. I really, really hope to see you all there. All of my Divine Feminine. This is not just when you hear womb healing, right? You think of, sometimes people more lean towards those whose miscarriage or those who have fertility issues, but no. We also talk about trauma. If you're a Divine Feminine, you need to be there. You need to be there. So I hope to see you guys there. There's going to be a lot of new things coming up on this channel, so please be on the lookout. There'll be more Reiki sessions as well too, so I'm super excited. And I am looking forward to all of these sessions that I have coming up with you guys. I hope you all are well again, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.
Hey everyone, join me on August 3rd for Divine Feminine Womb Healing Reiki Circle. This free live event is aimed at restoring balance and peace to the feminine essence, encompassing body, mind, and spirit. Using the combined powers of Reiki and crystals, we clear any blockages in the energetic pathways of the womb, allowing vital life energy to flow freely. This unique healing experience is a tribute to the sacredness of your womb and an opportunity to reconnect with your inner feminine strength. Allow yourself to be nurtured by Reiki and crystals and enjoy the many benefits of this customized healing journey. I hope to see you there.